And good afternoon to all you baseball fans out there and those that are viewing my channel. Welcome to another video and part 2, finally, of my APBA Baseball for Windows blind tutorial. And if you remember our last video, in my last video, I showed you the basics, how to make a quickie game and show you what the functions, what the the icons do on the desktop, what they represent, and things like that. This time, I'm going to show you how Advanced Draft and League Manager works. So let's get started. Oh, and if you haven't hit that like and share and subscribe button, please do so. I'm turning on a vast number of the members of the blind community and those that are baseball fans who love Sims like I do, onto trying to motivate people to say, hey, this app is worth the $28.99 that it costs to get it. And I hope that these videos help you decide help make your decision on whether you want to buy it or not, because I got it about a year and a half ago, and let's see. Yeah, actually, almost a year and a half ago, actually. And I am hooked. I am, honest to God, hooked. I cannot stop playing it. It is
Broadcast.
so,
No next frame.
it is
No
so, just, I love it. And I'm sure that anyone else who buys it, when they start playing it, they'll love it too. Because, I mean, this is quite the rabbit hole of baseball. Okay, so let's take a look at the League Manager, shall we?
Learn about this league.
I'm going to turn my speech down.
And 0, 1.
There we go. That's a little better.
Apply button. Press desktop.
Let's see. League Manager. Here we go. All right. And you can see I have
select sub-menus,
all the seasons that go. It goes all the way back until 1950. And I also have I'll show you maybe another video. I'll show you the website where I got the Modern All-Stars disc. You can see here at the bottom. But it goes all the way up from 1950 until Ernie Harwell. As I said before, Ernie Harwell's vernacular ends in 1997. So if your name's not listed in the game, he will not say your name. He will just say the letter of your first name, or your last name, that is. If your first name's in the game, he'll say that. Like Joey steps up to the plate or something like that. Joey hitting 1 for 2 or something like that. But let's do, for an example, I'll show you how things work. Let's do an example of 1990, my birth year.
1989.
Click on this. Now there is one organization in here. That is the replay organization. And I believe this has not been touched, although it has before, because I did a replay on it a few months ago. The Pirates won that World Series, by the way. They swept the Oakland Athletics in 4, which is totally different to what happened in real life, where the Reds were the one that swept the A's in 4. But we launch this,
League Manager power,
and you see all the teams here.
For Team Baltimore,
no games have been played, no positions, like no standings have been set up yet. Let's see. Now the menus are the select menu. This is where you can load the data disk and the organization you want to work with. Schedule, and this is where you do the AIM rules, which is AIM stands for Advanced Injury Management. This means, like, if somebody gets hurt, then they can replace the player with like a substitute until that injured player comes back.
Schedule and AIM rules. Add games in.
Hold on a minute. Let's see.
So schedule league
play.
League help on play league. Delete league box scores
I
unavailable.
believe
Create organization disc.
this is
Commissioner's box
Commissioner's
unavailable.
box. You can
Create
make a
commissioner file
commissioner
unavailable.
file.
League select.
You know, set your own rules.
Get league place rules sub menu.
Rules.
For home fields.
This is where you set home field for all teams. You can do
League
American League rules. You can do different rules for each league if you wanted to, or as an organization as a whole.
League division East. For game unavailable.
You can even set rules for games if you want.
Team home field.
You can assign ballparks to the teams. I'll show you how to do that in just a little bit.
League rules lineups.
Lineups. This is where you now. There are several ways to go about this. You can assign a manager to manage all the teams in the league, a micromanager. An AIM manager would be preferred, but it's hard to tell who is and who is not who is and isn't a micro league manager. But basically, they will manage the game in the style that they are programmed to manage in. Like, maybe let's say you got a dead ball manager, for example. He'll manage the way that it was managed back in dead. Let's say you have Earl Weaver, for example. He's been programmed to manage how Earl would actually manage a game. A lot of platooning, a lot of pinch hits, and using his bench a lot. Lou Piniella would do that too. If you could get Lou Piniella, I'm sure he would do the same thing. He would use his bench. He would use platoon. You've got, let's see. You can
IM sub menu.
Advanced injury management sub menu.
Edit initial IM and schedule.
You can see all the players you've got here.
Edit current player status unavailable.
Edit current player status.
Player status edit team initial player status on edit team current player IM and schedule rules.
Okay, let's see.
Line IM reports.
Reports. This is where you can look at the day-to-day schedule. This is where you can look at your team's standings, see what your team's record is. Injury reports, disabled list management. Of course, if you assign the manager to auto, then it'll just do everything for you. But you can look at the schedule and see like what games are to be played on a day or whatever it is. I'll show you how that works too.
Lineup IM sub reports sub options sub
options
menu. Option preferences hide
details
hide detail change to regular box
to a regular box score. There's a regular box score and a newspaper box score.
Show on schedule.
Because I'm sure that some of you back in the day, like when you read the newspaper, they had the little box score, and if you got the sports section, they'd have the little box score of the game,
preferences,
who did what, and everything.
Index shift F1.
Now, and the help menu.
System sub.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to advanced injury management first. I'm gonna look up when opening day. Wait, better yet, let me ask my phone. Hold on. Siri, when was opening day for Major League Baseball in 1990?
Opening day for Major League Baseball in 1990 was on April 9th. This is from Wikipedia.
All right. So now we know the date. That is my iPhone, in case you
Google Chrome
didn't catch that, but it was my Siri voice. So what we do is we go to schedule and AIM rules.
Set schedule.
10/2/2024
unknown 10/2/2024 focused.
Hold on. Shoot, hold on a second. I do apologize for that. I was offered to try a taste of honey hot barbecue sauce. Okay, let's see. Here we go.
10
We're now on the advanced injury management setup list. We set, this is the date. This is the day that the season, in this case, the season starts. So we do 4,
4/2/20.
9,
4
the year of
4
1990.
9/19.
Then,
Regular.
and if you tab down here, it says
Preseason.
preseason,
Regular.
regular season.
Quarterfinal.
Then there's quarterfinals. This is for the playoffs. So if you've got like, if you're doing, say, 1995, for example, the quarterfinals would be the division series. This is not licensed by Major League Baseball, so you can't use League Championship Series and you can't use World Series. So they went with quarterfinals. Then the semifinals is the Championship Series, which would be two teams from one league, two teams from the other league. Winner goes on to the finals, which is the World Series in this case. They would play 7 games. But I'll show you, I set that up too in a little bit as well.
Preseason.
Regular season, okay.
Segment
Number of
rules
games
grouping.
played,
Edit selected
162, which is the real life schedule, real schedule at the time. Interleague games.
Not checked.
There was not interleague play at the time, but I've been known to do things like make a little 50-game schedule and have interleague play. They'll play like one game, and then they'll play another game. Then they'll play another game with other teams. It's really, but no, if you want to do the real season, then you would not have interleague play in this case. Whoops. There we go.
League play checkbox.
League play. I haven't really figured out what this does, but it sounds like, actually, I'm not really sure what this does. It is league play, but it's not checked, so we just leave it alone.
Wild
card rule. They didn't have this in 1990, so we leave it alone. But if you have, say, like, let's go back to 1995. If you enable this, then there'll be a wild card race along with the division races in the season you're playing from 1994 up until however far ahead you've got. What else we got? Bench and pitching rotation. I never figured this out either, but I think it's if you check this, it'll enable you to use a bench and a pitching rotation. Which, since this is a regular season, then yeah, we check this. So that basically, it allows you to use a bench, and I guess the pitching rotation. If you don't check this, I assume that it'll just go pitcher by pitcher by pitcher until you've used them all, and then start over again. Because some people they'll have time to rest, and they won't use their bench as much. But I'm a firm believer that if somebody gets tired, then you got to take them out. So we check that. Box score is not saved. I usually leave this alone. But if you check this box score, then if you check this box here, then the box scores won't save. It'll just, games played per team, 162. This was the real schedule at the time.
No aim fatigue.
No AIM. This is the injuries, the AIM setup. This goes into, now if you set this to, I'll show you the options here. We've got
no AIM
fatigue or injuries. Nobody gets hurt.
Fatigue
only. If they get tired, they'll want to take a rest for a few days, if whatever bouts thereof.
Game injuries.
Game injuries and fatigue. It gets hurt, like sprained an ankle on the field, or, for example, collided with a wall and had a little concussion during the game. It's game-specific injuries.
All reduced injuries, but no aim fatigue.
Wait, let's see. Reduced injuries and fatigue. This is like maybe little minor injuries. Then there's all injuries and fatigue. This is like maybe they've gone out to celebrate the night after a big win and they get drunk, whatever it is. They can't play the next day. So it's some crazy scenario like that. But this goes a long way in setting up your lineup. If you have, if you're doing a quickie game you have to set the lineup yourself. There's no there is like no alternative unless you have your own like lineups that are loaded into the game that you saved. You can save them, by the way. I have several primary lineups in this season that I've got saved, but we set this to I set this to all injuries and fatigue, just so that way, you know, it'll set the lineups accordingly.
Late 20th century
Now this is managerial style. It's at late 20th century right now, but it goes. Let's see, there's late 20th century. That's like 19. Let's see, was it 60 or 70 through? In this case, 1997. Mid 20th century would be maybe 40s or 30s through the 60s. Early would be early 20th century. Excuse me. 20th century would be like 1900 all the way up until maybe 1925 or 30. And then there's 19th century, which is 1870 until 1899, the way the game was played in the dead ball era. So you got several options here, but since we're doing 1990, you can put 1990 in the 1800s managerial style and watch the games be played that way. But I set this to late 20th century because we want to reflect the times. Then there's miscellaneous options. Enforced batters face limits. I believe this is if you're on like a strict pitch count or something, and the batter's limits, may reflect that, I believe. Then there's
no PR 934 SLGOBP 0.600 checkbox.
I think it's no batters over 600 or something like that, which that's crazy. If somebody hits 600 in a season, then the numbers are totally inaccurate. Let's see. Hang on, let me take a sip.
Pre-game aim auto substitutions checkbox check.
Pre-game advanced injury management auto substitutions. Obviously, this is checked because if somebody gets hurt, you can't just send him back out there again. Play, damn it! He'd have to be take off for a few days, and Ernie will tell you how long somebody is injured for. For example, the rest of the day, he'll be back tomorrow. 5 days. He has to take 5 days off and then come back in 5 days. 10 days, same thing. 15 days, same. It's it can get pretty crazy, but this is checked. Pre-game AIM auto subplatoon. I'm a firm believer that you should not have the exact same lineup all 162 games. Although you can manage however you want in this case. I like you could send different lineups out there, adjust accordingly to who's pitching, for example. But I checked this.
Checked.
Then there's pause pregame if starting pitcher or starting player is, and this is your options. Available means he's available to play. Itchy means he really wants to play. He's ready to go. Bushed, he's tired, so he can't. He may want to take a day rest or what have you. Worn out, he's really tired. Doesn't need to play. Tired. This is like, okay, I need some rest. You worked me for several days. I need a rest, and that's it. There is a help menu here, but I cannot get this to read to me for some reason. The tutorial is all blah 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 blah. So we hit OK here. We're done with this. Okay, the rules are set for AIM management. Let's see.
Highlights ops, add
we could do it. Let's see. We go to. We can add a game here manually. Delete game. Since there are no games set yet, we have to generate a schedule. We'll do that in just a second. Delete a box score, which we don't have any yet. Reschedule rainouts. Add unscheduled games. Assign unscheduled games. Delete unscheduled games. There's the next day option, which we've not even started yet.
Next incomplete
Next
day.
incomplete day.
Initialize schedule.
Initialize schedule. If you have a schedule set and you click this, it will warn you that everything you've done up to this point, all your rules, management, standings will be wiped clean. It's like starting fresh. It is exactly like starting fresh. Believe me, when I first got this game, I was totally lost in some things. It's like basically you have to do all of this just to get things going. Now, if you want to do a quickie game, that's up to you. But it's encouraged that you do, say, like seasons and like put the projects together.
Reset statistics.
Reset statistics. This will reset the season all the way back to opening day. It'll wipe all the statistics clean, wipe all the played games off, and restart and start over.
Delete unplayed,
games.
Generate new schedule.
Generate a new schedule. Let's see.
Import CSV schedule.
You can
file.
import CSV schedules, which I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I'm waiting on the tips on how to do that one. But you basically can import as played schedules into your season, and it'll reflect how, like, it may not do lineups wise, but it'll reflect the schedule of the time.
Export CSV
You can export a schedule
unavailable. Highlights
and
search
highlight
unavailable.
search. So what we don't have any games right now, so we need to generate schedule.
Delete generate.
Okay, let's see.
All
There's
professional
professional style,
checked. Three
game series, mostly.
radio, but four
game series of mostly, and then there's
check. 5-game series,
5-game series mostly.
Check. Professional style radio.
I always go with professional style here. Then we've got
all-star break. Check
an all-star break. You can set an all-star break if you wish to. I don't know how to make an all-star game yet. Beatles said he was going to do a tutorial on that one soon, so stay tuned. Check out Beatles Eternally for that whenever he decides to get around to it. He's got the McGreevy project going on, which is awesome, by the way. He's doing 1911 APBA, so that's awesome too. I still harken back to that Tigers game where they came all the way back to beat, who did they play in that? I forget who they played, but it was like they were down by like 6 runs or something in the bottom of the ninth. They came all the way back to beat whoever they were playing. It was awesome. Let's see.
All-star.
You can do an all-star break here. So, reflection of the times. We'll say yes.
Day games only.
You can do day games.
Day and
night
games.
Button.
No double headers. Day and night. Day games only.
Day games or day and night games. Since this is 1990, we're doing here. We'll do day and night games.
No double headers.
No double headers. Back in the old days of baseball, and I don't know how long this went on for a while, everybody used to play double headers on a frequent basis. But since this is 1990, we checked this box that says no double headers.
Edit selected 0.
Then there's number of days for an all-star break. How many were there in 1990? Because there was a home run derby, so probably 4.
Selection removed.
4 days. Then this is number of games, 162. Interleague play.
Not checked.
Of course, this didn't exist yet, so we leave it alone. Now, the bottom level here is where you crunch the numbers. First is interdivision matchups, American League. There are, let's see, 14 teams in the American League. So they'd be playing each other. If you set this to 1, for example, they'll do 1 game, play the next team, play the next team, play the next team. I think this somehow does the math of how many games to play, like in a series or something like that. So let's set it to 12, then 12 again. This is for the National League. There are 12 teams in the National League, 6 in the East, 6 in the West. They'll play each other. I assume they'll do maybe 3-game series all the way around. This is very hard to determine because the math is very at best. But now,
Edit
this
selected
is
0.
American League East matchups. There are 7 teams in the American League East. So we would do, let's see, 13.
Edit select.
13 on the West. Then
Edit selected.
there are more, since I think I'm correct here. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Baltimore, Boston, Cleveland, Detroit. No, I'm right. Okay.
Okay.
Now that's the American League. So we set that up. Now the National League. There are 12 teams in the National League. So obviously they're going to need to play more games to match up with the American League. And we set this to 19 and 19. And then we hit OK.
League manager.
All right. Now we look at the. Now what I can do here is on the select menu, I go to. If I click on play manual game here, it's going to bring up the opening day schedule. We'll get into something else, and I'll show you something else in just a second. But here's what the schedule looks like today. It's opening day. We've got the California Angels at the Baltimore Orioles, White Sox at the Royals, Blue Jays at the Athletics, Yankees at the Rangers, Braves at Expos, Giants at the Reds, Pirates at the Dodgers, and that's it. This is opening day. If I click one of these games here, it's going to go to the lineup screen for the teams. Let me show you that, for example. I'll do the Giants and the Reds as an example here. We got Brett Butler, Will Clark, Kevin Mitchell, Matt Williams, Robbie Thompson, Terry Kennedy, Jose Uribe, Jim Litton, I presume, and John Burkett. For the Reds, we've got Barry Larkin, Mariano Duncan, Chris Sabo, Paul O'Neill, Herm Winningham, Billy Hatcher, Todd Benzinger, Joe Oliver, and Tom Browning. Now, notice I didn't have to set the lineups. It automatically did it for me. But we're not going to actually play a game right now, so let's get out of here. Get back to League Manager. Okay, now this is where, let's see, I'm going to show you the rules section.
League American League.
Since the American League, let's see. They used a DH at the time, which has already been checked. Pitching while with bases full. Sacrifice with 2 outs. Why would you do that?
Exiting during game.
If you don't if this isn't enabled, you cannot leave during the game. I presume that's how it goes. You can't leave you can't exit the game. Allow bunt for a hit. Allow infield in with third base empty. Enable ballpark effects. This is where you could have like rainouts. Like the ballpark can be affected by, say, wind or something. Pitcher three batter rule just didn't exist at the time.
Okay,
and we get out of here. All right. Now, the teams obviously have this game will find a generic ballpark to play in for the teams, but you can assign, say, a ballpark for the teams. But let's just show you how to do that. You can do it for one team at a time, or you can tackle it all at once. And there we see the teams here. Oh, they've already been assigned. Okay. Apparently, if you initialize the schedule, then this will not be erased. So you can see Baltimore Orioles at Memorial Stadium, Red Sox at Fenway, Cleveland Indians at. I don't have Municipal Stadium, but I had to go with Jacobs Field.
List Baltimore Orioles Memorial Stadium.
This is where all the teams and the ballparks are assigned. Then down here are where the ballparks are located. You just, like, next tutorial, I'll show you the website where I got these from. Or I could always go on there real quick and show you where they came from. But this is where I got them all from. Fulton County Stadium with the Braves. Assign button, unassigned,
button,
then the
OK
report, then you hit OK.
Press
That's
leave
already
man-
been checked. Okay.
Lineup
Now,
manager all teams
manager all teams.
for team Baltimore.
Now this is for team. Let's see. Here we go. You have to assign. You can assign managers to the teams. You can do the micromanagers, or you can do it. You can manage yourself. That's where the auto and manual games come in. I'll explain that too. Let's assign. You can do this individually, or you can assign one manager to manage everybody. But let's do it one at a time here. We'll go down the alphabetical order here.
Conley, League,
Jake Conley.
For team Cle, her MC Card, MC Code, Lee. For team the her MC Coy, MC.
Johnny McCoy is probably the most balanced manager out of the list of the non-realistic managers in the game. Danny Murphy.
For team New York.
Ooh, the Yankees managed by. Let's for a twist here. Let's let Stengel manage the Yankees. He did manage the Yankees for a long time, and the Mets.
League for team auto rate manager.
Let's see. Jasper Nelson.
For team
Mr. Pepper.
Nel Pepper.
Sounds like a swing away manager.
For team
the Duke of Chicago.
Pepper
No shy.
For team Kansas. Auto Matt Schindel.
Rabbit Schindel. There used to be a way to edit the managers' names, but that doesn't exist anymore, sadly.
Lineup sub. Auto Matt Spalding.
Captain Spalding.
For team Oakland. Auto Matt Stengel
Thomas. This is blind catfish Thomas.
Lineup sub. Select Auto Matt Top
Buckshot Williams, and then we just go all the way.
For team Texas Rangers. Auto Matt Conley.
Back to the top in Jake.
For team Auto Matt Durham. For team Montreal Expos. Auto Matt MC Carthy. MC
I do have
JMCO
3 actual managers to play with in this game. I've got Whitey. You'll see him in just a second. Let's see.
Lineup sub menu. For select sub for team New York.
Mets.
Select auto radio. Matt auto radio. Matt Stengel.
Actually, hang on. Let's go back up here. See, the way I'm doing it, I'm navigating the teams here. Cleveland, Detroit, Milwaukee, New York.
For team
Let's let
select manager Spalding.
Joe McCarthy manage the Yankees.
Manager Power.
Who's the one that's not?
For team Atlanta.
Hang on, we're going too far.
For team
Have they been assigned? Okay, Stengel. Now, who did I assign before that? McCoy. Okay.
For team Philadelphia.
Phillies, managed by Mr. Michaels. They're gonna. Some of them are gonna be managed. Most of them, I think they're all gonna be managing 2 teams in some perspective. Pirates. Murphy.
Murphy. Lee. For team St. Louis.
Whitey Herzog. He managed the Cardinals in 1990.
For Nelson Lee. For team Cincinnati.
Mr. Pepper.
For
dang, the Duke Robinson Jr. is wearing 2 caps. Astros and White Sox.
Lineup sub menu. Auto Pep Robinson Schindel Lee. For team San Diego.
We're almost done with this.
Lee. For team San Francisco. Matt Thomas.
Okay. Now the emphasis is save this as much as you can. If you don't, it'll warn you. Watch.
Warning dialog organization 1990 replay has changed. Do you wish to save your changes? League manager.
I almost closed out of that, so we hit save.
Save
okay, now voila. Now we've got a schedule. We've got the AIM rules set up. We've got managers assigned. Now you want to play a game. Well, if I want to play a manual game, check this out.
Play manual
I
game
can't do it
unavailable.
because there is no manual.
Le-
I'm not manually managing the managers. But if I want to control a team, I go down here. Let's say I want to do the Reds, for example. Where are they? Where are
For
they?
team Atlanta.
Braves. Here we go.
For
I
team
click on the
Cincinnati.
Reds.
Select
I
auto.
set the mode to manual.
League
Okay. Now
play
play
manual
manual
game.
game.
Task
Click
bar.
on that.
App
APBA
select
opens up.
game. San
There's
Francisco.
my game. There's the game right there. Giants at Reds. Notice that the other games did not come up. That's because they are assigned the auto micromanagers and set to auto. So we get out of here.
App desktop. League map for team. Madden Nelson. Jack Pepper. Auto rate. League.
Now that's a micro. Now let's see. I'll show you the options here in the select menu. There's play automatic games in the background. This goes so fast. It's like boom, 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 done. You know, you can play a whole set of season of games under, if not a little over 10 minutes. There's play auto games as spectator. This is where Ernie will call the game and it will go game by game by game by game. Although after the first game, it'll ask you what you want to do next. And I usually just say go put it on a loop, go game by game by game by game by game. It'll just merrily go along. Play manual game is blacked out. Play auto games 1 day.
Background.
This plays the games that are set up for the day. The 1 day that's opening right now. No games have been played yet. Then you can shut down auto games at end of game. If you're doing auto games and you hit this button, it will stop playing after this game. The game you're currently listening to is over. And then there's at end of day that plays the whole day's games, and then it stops and you got to move it to the next day. Then there's shut down auto games on date. I think this same way as stopping the auto games after the game you play is finished. I think. Don't quote me on that. Maybe it just stops it altogether. I'm not sure.
Cancel active games.
Cancel active games. This is a stoppage tactic if you wanted to take a break, do something else.
Backup organization.
Then you can back up your organization.
Restore organization.
Restore an organization.
Exit alt
and then
F4.
you can get out if you want to.
1, 2, 4, save organization.
But we save this again. Okay, that's the basics of League Manager. Well, let's say that you've played 1990 and you want to do the 1990 World Series. Or if you wanted to do, say, if you just want to do the World Series itself. Sadly, this game, once you complete the season in League Manager, this will not make a playoff bracket for you. You have to make this yourself, and that's what the advanced draft is for, right here. So we click on this. Okay. Now, I showed you some of this in my last tutorial video, where I basically was I used 1986 as a vehicle because it was one of the free seasons that came with the game. And I said, with the professional baseball organization, the protected one, you can't make changes to it. You can't draft players. You can't do this or that, whereabouts thereof. But I'm going to show you. We open 1990. Let's say you want to trade a player to a certain team. See, there's a teams that are listed here. You go. Let's say we do this early. Let's trade Deion Sanders to the just for what the hell. Let's trade him to the Reds. Let's see, where are they? First we want to go to the Yankees. That's where he was at the time. Where is he? Let's see. Winfield.
Hensley,
Mullins,
Mel
Hall. There he
Deion
is,
Sanders,
Deion Sanders. Now, a cool thing is, if I do a Control V here, look at this.
Sanders,
Deion Sanders'
Deion,
APBA card right there. That is so cool that you get to see people their APBA cards.
Ni-
Jesse
Barfield,
Barfield, APBA card right there. But we want to trade Deion Sanders. So let's see. We go to the edit menu.
acquire ends
You can
unavailable.
acquire him, which you can't do that on a team that he's not. There's two ways to do this. You can do it.
View card,
You can do it like we're about to do here.
drop
You could
Sanders,
drop him,
Deion
which
Dell,
basically is like releasing the player.
edit
You can
Sanders,
edit him,
Deion
change his
Control E,
name, whatever.
transfer
Transfer
Deion Control
is
D,
what we want to do.
unaffiliate
You can
Sanders,
unaffiliate him.
Deion Control Dell,
I don't know what. I think that means you just take him off altogether.
new roster,
Make a new
view
roster
card Sanders,
or view his card.
new edit,
We want to
edit,
transfer. Do a Control T for shortcut.
select date
1990
1990 or
1990
replay,
replay.
list
Then we do.
list I
There's the teams again. We go
list
to the
list
Cincinnati
item.
Reds, and it
OK
asks
button,
us.
press. Confirm dialog. Release Deion Sanders from New York Yankees and draft Deion Sanders onto Cincinnati Reds. Yes.
That's
button.
what we wanted to do. So we hit yes,
Advanced
and
players -20 post Deion Sanders. Paul O'Neill.
there he is, Deion Sanders, right there on the Reds. That's one way to do it. Okay, now let's see. Where are the Yankees again?
1990 New York.
There they are.
Bob Jeter.
Deion Sanders is gone. He's not on that team anymore. He's been traded to the Reds. Now the Reds. Let's say we want to make this fair. Let's say let's trade.
17T
Let's say we trade a somebody that the Reds don't really use that much
Orlando Rooms
to the Yankees and vice. We'll just kind of just for what the hell. I'll show you how it's done.
Deion Sanders. Paul. Billy. Eric.
Let's trade rooms. Then we let's see. Or now this is another way you can do this is
1990 New York.
You can go down here to the player pool. There's 1,029 players in this pool. This is where you can acquire players from onto your team. Watch.
Orlando Rooms.
Let's see. You want to acquire rooms. So you go the Alt-E button.
Acquire rooms.
Acquire.
Confirm dialog. Orlando Rooms is already on Cincinnati Reds. Draft Orlando Rooms onto New
This
York
is the draft
Yankees.
pool.
Advanced draft.
Okay. Now Rooms is a Yankee.
Players. Orlando
right
Rooms.
there.
1990-1990
1990
New York Yankees.
Hang on.
1990 New York Yankees.
Why are they in there twice?
Edit organization LG 1990-9 1990 New York 1990 since
there they are.
Orlando Rooms.
Okay. I drafted Rooms, but he was not cut. He's on both teams. So if I hit delete,
release player,
this will release Orlando Rooms from the Reds.
Advanced
he will be on. He's on the Yankees now. So I just showed you how to pick from the draft pool and how to transfer players around. But this isn't real. So
save.
We can save this and carry on, but
I
won't save this part.
Pressed.
All right. We go back to advanced draft. All right.
Season.
Now, let's say you want to make the 1990 World Series. Well, the disc is loaded. Only organization you've got is the replay. There are no scale. Let's just say you want to make it. So we go to Alt-E, add organization. We do 1990 World Series.
Edit blank.
90, you can initialize it WS. Okay, the organization's been made. All right.
19.
You want to add a league.
Add submenu, league. Add new
American League.
American League. Edit. Okay.
And another league.
Add
National League.
Edit. Advanced draft.
Let's see. If we go back to the replay, now we're in the teams. let's see, you do Oakland. No,
Minnesota.
here we go. Oakland. You want to export the teams. You do not want to move them. You want to export. So you go here,
Select
export
1990
1990 World Series.
List item. Okay.
Then it'll ask you where you want
Export
them to go. American League, of course.
Okay.
Okay. Boom. Oakland A's are now in the American League in the 1990 World Series organization. They need an opponent to play with. We go down to the bottom. Up. Once more. There they are. There's the Reds. Just to make sure.
Cincinnati.
Yes.
Select. Okay.
Now it knows that we imported from we exported to the World Series organization. It is right there. So we hit OK.
Press export Cincinnati National. OK. Press advanced.
Bada boom.
CD
1990 World Series. Now the rosters may not reflect the exact rosters of the World Series at the time, but we can fix that. But we want to save.
Save advanced.
All right. We can close this replay.
1990 edit organ.
Close this out. The only organization we got now is the World Series. But let's say we want to draft. Billy Bates was on the Reds roster in 1990 during the World Series, so we want to draft him. We go down to the player pool. Here we go.
Billy Bates.
Billy Bates. We want
select data
we can either transfer him over
advanced,
or we can acquire him.
Acquire Bates.
So we want to acquire him.
Advanced draft. See.
There he is.
Billy. Players.
Billy Bates. He's on the Reds.
Mariano.
I think he's a backup second baseman.
Terry.
Billy Doran was on that too. So.
Bill Doran.
Billy Doran. We acquired Doran as well. You do Alt E. The first thing there is acquire.
Advanced.
There it is. Billy Doran. He's on the Reds. Then
1990-1990 World.
Then we can close this out. The team has been closed. You go to Oakland Athletics.
1990 Oakland Athletics roster.
They had Willie McGee on their roster.
Lowy Meadows.
Nope.
Scott Medvin.
Nope.
Jose
Melendez.
Randy McCain. Kirk McCausland.
Where is he?
Paul Lloyd
McClendon.
Bob
McClure.
Rodney MCC.
McCray.
Lance
McCullers.
Ben McDonald. Jack
Jack McDowell. These are all the players that were playing in 1990 that are on this disc.
Roger
McDowell. Chuck McElroy.
Andy
McGaffigan.
Willie McGee.
There he is, Willie McGee. Hold on.
Willie McGee. 9.
Where's this app?
A view card McGee. Willie Control V. Advanced draft. CD.
Hold on.
1990. Acquire McGee. Willie Inns.
We want to acquire Willie McGee.
Advanced.
There he is, Willie McGee. All right.
Players -20. Willie 9 McGee.
When you're looking at your roster, if you hit Control V, it'll bring up their APBA card. Now, if you're doing the draft pool like we just did, that will not show up.
Andy McGee. 19.
But if you click on their APBA card, you can see like their ratings, whereabouts thereof. Okay, now we can save. Save everything we got right here. Okay. World Series the teams have been added to the organization. Now we need to set up their games.
League manager.
Which means we have to go back to league manager.
Select 1990 season or
okay. 1990 World Series. This was a sweep in 4 games. Now we assign. Basically, you do it all over. Do it all over again here. Let me ask my phone or something real quick, just to make sure. Siri, what day did the World Series of 1990 start on?
The 1990 World Series started on a Tuesday due to the brief lockout. This answer is from Wikipedia.
A Tuesday. So that was I know. I'll do Wikipedia. Let me see some. just for
New tab.
World.
SE. New tab. Access. Cert 1990 World Series.
Here we go. Wikipedia page right here.
1990 Cincinnati Reds. Loop 9 Oakland. Tone 1 dates.
Okay, it started on the 16th of October. So, go back to League Manager. Set the rule. We got to set the rules again. Set the AIM schedule. October 16, 1990. Now, since this is the World Series, we will set it to the finals. Number of games to play, 7. I think you can. The most you could do is like, I don't know what the lowest number you can do, but I think if you want to do a World Series, you would do 7 in this case. Then I think you can go lower than that, but I'm not sure how though. Interleague play. Now this has to be enabled because you've got one team from each league. They have to play each other. So we enable interleague play.
Checked.
League play. Wild card rule. This isn't needed. Bench and pitching rotation. You can leave this alone if you want to. Box scores not saved. Now the number of games played per team is 162. AIM fatigue manager.
Reduce
all injuries.
Late
20th century rules. Miscellaneous.
Pre-game
Leave the auto subplatoon alone. I'm not going to check that in this case because just for sakes. The positive player is itchy, bushy, tired, worn out, available, etc. All right, that's been said. Now we save. Oh, we don't have to save it. Already did it for us. We assign ballparks.
Home fields. All teams.
Now there's only 2 here, so you're going to see Oakland Athletics, Cincinnati Reds. Oakland played at the Oakland Coliseum. We hit assign. Then we go to that's been tagged down, so we go. It's on the Reds right now. The Cincinnati 1970. We hit assign and boom, ballparks assigned. Now we need to assign the managers. This is where I'm going to save this. Save this as much as you can. Let's go back to the replay organization and take a look at who's managing who here. Let's see.
For Team Seattle Marin lineup for Team Seattle Marin
lineup. Here we go. Oakland Athletics.
Matt Combo Box Thomas.
Catfish Thomas for the Athletics. And
for Team
not the Braves.
Combo
Pepper for the Reds. So we go back down to the World Series play. Let's see.
For Team Oak,
Catfish Thomas. Then for the Reds, Pepper. All right, everything's been set. Rules. Wait, let's do league rules here. American League, they were using a DH at the time.
Game rules grouping.
Wait, make sure I'm on the right one here.
For division of the league.
Here we go.
Set game
DH.
Checkbox focus not check.
Check that, of course. We don't need no stinking DH, but they were using one at the time, so we got to go with it. By the way, Dwayne, your check's in the mail for that. Oh, he should trademark that. All right. Save that again. All right. The rules have been set. The managers have been set. The ballparks have been set. But wait a minute. There are no games. There's no games. They can't play anything. Well, you have to add the games. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And since the Reds had home field advantage in the World Series, it started at Riverfront. So I'm on the Reds right now. We go to add games. Now they're automatically the home team here.
Cancel RST.
There's I think it's a 7-day set. You can rest. It can be a day game, night game, or a double header. But they were all night games at the time, so we go to evening game. The other days are not there. Visiting team is the Oakland Athletics. You have to decide a visiting team. Then you go to the right. This is the next day.
Add games in.
Same thing.
Schedule Oakland. Okay. League
Now you go to the right again. This is a travel date, so you leave this alone. You don't mess with it. Then you go. Now, if I do it right now, the Reds would be the home team again. So you want to go up. Now the Athletics are the home team.
Add games in. Radio. Cincinnati.
Now this series only went 4 because the Reds swept the A's in 4. But what happens in real life may not happen here. So we want to schedule the games as if it's going to possibly all 7 may be played.
Cincinnati Reds. Okay,
Game 5. Okay, games 1 through 5 have been set. Off day. Go back down to the Reds. They're the home team once more. Schedule this.
Schedule Oakland at. Okay.
And finally, game 7. All right. Games have been set. Everything's been set at this point.
Save organization.
Okay, now if you want to look at it yourself and see what the schedule looks like, you go to report. The day-by-day schedule will show you the start date and the end date. You hit OK and
press 1990 World Series day-by-day schedule Tuesday, October 16 Oakland Athletics at Cincinnati Reds. And right parenthesis Wednesday, October 17 Oakland Athletics at Cincinnati Reds. And right parenthesis Thursday, October 18 no games scheduled Friday, October 19 Cincinnati Reds at Oakland.
It gives you the whole schedule. Who is going to who's playing who on what date? Time wise, it doesn't say. But now if we hit the
background.
Let's say we hit play automatic games as background. This will go boom, 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 done. Just for an example, because I'm going to show you how you can look at the standings. We hit OK, and we wait. And this just merrily goes along here. This is what's so interesting about it. You can do it one way or the other. You can quickly zoom it ahead, or you can just listen to Ernie. Now, when you do the postseason play, Ernie has different dialogue. It's like he does the little post shtick pretty much. But I think they've been done. Let's see. Yep, it's finished. So now the standings don't reflect yet, so we have to close it.
Desktop list.
Reopen it. Let's see. We go report. Standings on day.
Standings.
Current standings. Let's look at the day standings. The World Series. Who's the champion?
Standings on October 24th, 1990. WLPCTGBSTRK last 10 home away 1 run X in American League Oakland Athletics 5-2 point.
Ooh. The Oakland Athletics beat the Reds 5-2 in the World Series. Now, the thing is, if you set this to play 7 games, it is going to play all 7 games regardless of who's leading. It will not stop unless you tell it to. If somebody wins 4 games, it still keeps playing the other 3. It will not stop unless you tell it to. But let's see. We want to go. Let's say you want to start over, like not like erase it, but you want to clean out statistics. The schedule section.
Warning dialog. All statistics for this.
Hit OK on this, and boom. Back at day 1, game 1. It starts all over again. Same, but the rules are still there. The managers are still there. Now, if I set this to set manager mode to manual and play manual game, it'll load up APBA and A's at Reds. Here we go. Lineups. McGee, Weiss, Henderson, McGuire, Henderson, Steinbach, Lansford, Gallego, and Dave Stewart for the Athletics. The Reds have Larkin, Duncan, Davis, O'Neill, Sabo, Hatcher, Benzinger, Oliver, and Browning. Okay, that's if you manually set it. Now, if you want to manage the Reds yourself, you go down to the Reds, then you hit manual.
League manager. Save organ. League.
Play manual game. And
APBA select game for 19.
open that Athletics at Reds.
APBA select starting lineup.
And only your lineup will show up.
1 Larkin, 2 Duncan, 3 David, 4 O'Neill.
Now, if you press the Who button here, it'll tell you who the other team is pitching.
Red pre-game situation pitching today for the Oakland Athletics. Dave Stewart, a right-handed, 17 isn't rested pitcher.
He's rested. Okay.
Select.
I'm going to, let's see. No, not that. Here we go. I'm going to turn off the
announcer check sound levels. Scroll box. Stadium music check box check. Not check. Unaffiliated. Can't save button.
I just turned that off just so we don't have to listen to the whole like national anthem and shtick. I know that's not very patriotic of me, but this is, you know, if you just want to.
Cincinnati Reds. Select
now I set it back to auto. Larry Pepper's back. Okay. Now I'm gonna give you a little excerpt of Ernie's championship dialogue here. So let's see. I will go back here.
Button on no platform. Show comment on have it leave no out of screen. Live viewer comments show up on stream.
Let's see.
But thin group leader smalls show edit new late remove.
Okay, here we go. That's the mute button. I'm going to mute my audio so you can hear Ernie's post or his champion a little excerpt here from Ernie Harwell in Baseball for Windows, and if you've got a championship series, or in this case the World Series set up. So it'll be for a few seconds and then I'll come back.
Mute play automatic. StreamYard app.
Hello again, everybody. It's series time. I'm Ernie Harwell, bringing you Oakland Athletics Baseball. Glad to have you with us for Big League Baseball. You're on 66 WAPBA. Today we're wired here from Cincinnati, where the hometown Reds will host on their own turf. This is the championship series, game number 1. In this 7-game series, the season is over. Here we are, bound by these final rituals. The festival begins. The Reds take the field here in the first. Let's see. Here's how it lines up defensively for the Reds. Benzinger at first base. Duncan at second. Larkin, the shortstop. Sabo at third. The outfield consists of O'Neill in left field. Davis in center field. And Hatcher over in right. Oliver is behind the plate. And today's slap man for Cincinnati, southpaw Browning. He will be facing Athletic starter right-hander Stewart. We'll tell you about him in the bottom half. Hitters like this park, you don't want to lay off the ball too much here, so settle in. This is a championship game. McGee will lead off the first. He'll bat from the right side this time. For Willie, his first at-bat in the series. Known to whack that ball pretty well.
Okay, that was just a little sample of Ernie's different dialogue he says for between our actual season and a championship series or a playoff series. If you want to make the playoffs, it's basically the same way. Division series, you add And at the since this only goes to 1997, you do 4 teams per league, and you set them up to play whoever was playing in the actual division series of that time. It's the same. You just set it up that way instead of just doing a World Series outright. But anyway, that's about it for this part of the tutorial video. I don't know what to cover next. We've pretty much done the basics of advanced draft and league manager, how to acquire players, transfer players, what have you. But if anybody has any ideas as to what should be covered next in this app, let me know and I'll see what I can do about it. Because right now there's things that I'm trying to learn as well. Still, after having this game for a year and a half and doing things with it and learning how it works and things like that, there's still things I'm trying to figure out, like how to do a full-on draft. Like you could drop every player from all teams and do like your own draft pool. Like you could do different set up different drafts and things like that. It's very interesting. But that concludes this video, part 2 of APBA Baseball for Windows' blind tutorial. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and till the next time, it's BG99 saying ciao till the next video. I'll see you all soon, and take it easy. And enjoy the MLB playoffs if you're watching.
Again, button focus. Stream.
But it's Blind Gamer 1990 saying ciao for now. I'll see you soon.
Pause, return, end record button, end recording button, enter. Set out, not yet button, set out row video button, not yet button, end recording button.